arthritis, for diabetes, for anti-cancer, for antibiotics, taas-taas. So he had to fight them. He had to fight them so hard that the American Embassy ambassador was told, could you just call and convince him? Punta naman siya. And what did he tell them? They are charging us so much money, and these are the poor. Okay, they need this. Reduce it by half, you still have profit. Totoo nga. So the prices were down. So for those of you that are saying, or you heard, Yoko Kamara, elitista. Well, he was born rich, but all his work was always for the poor, and this is one of them. Next. Clean water. As local government, he saw from Paritulo, there are some places where there is no drinking water. You have to go to the poso, kakarkahin, okay? I know that from Sorsogon, before we had drinking water. Doon, para magligo, para maghugas ng plato. But, so she said, kailangan, pagbukas mo ng gripo, meron tubig, pwede mong inumin. And he was able to do that in 40 municipalities. 200,000 households now have puso, you can drink. Okay? Again, that's a benefit. Next. Okay.
That 350 is consistent. Is it glamorous? No. Does it make headlines? No. But there's 500 people every week that are no longer victims of crime.
At gusto lang ba, Bravo di Barro, kami po ay nagpapasalamat ng aming mga kapitbahay dahil kami po ay naisual ng CCTV at ng handheld radio para sa aming kaligtasan at para po sa tulay ng Kennedy sa aming lugar. Maraming salamat po.
Okay. Anong ibig sabihin yan? In Metro Manila, NCR, National Capital Region, when he was local government, ngayon, every crime is in computerized na, hindi na yung susulat na wala. So he said, okay, let's see the problem. Where are the places of high crime area? Dito, dito, dito. How many policemen are assigned on those high crime area? Equal everywhere. Sabi, that doesn't make sense. You put more policemen in high crime area. Okay, that happened. Ano ang kanilang panlaban? Batuta lang. Because if you need a gun, ikaw pang bibili. You know, with a very small salary, kaya naman lahat ng policeman natin nagnanakaw. Because the salary is so low. So what did he do? He bought guns for all of them. Isa pa, dito, dito, dito. Maliwanag ba dyan? Wala. Maglagay ng ilaw. TV. So pag ano ka, makikita ka agad. CCTV. Okay. So, because of that, yung nakita nyo, 915 a week ang reported crime. When this was done and executed, 300 na lamang. 500 crimes were avoided. Okay, so what is that? The talent to look at the problem and solve it. Yung sinasabi ng mga oh, naku, analysis by paralysis, that's wrong. It's analyzing, looking at the problem, and then solving it. Okay, he has done it as local government. Next. Okay, and so he is saying, now we, the Philippines, have become the center of growth, development, and modernity in Asia. Hindi lamang yan salita-salita. He has done it as 3 years of government service, as a legislator and as an executive. So, 23 years. Wala, nakadinig ba kayo na nagnakaw o humingi ng mga komisyon? Kasunduan na. None. And you know what? That is to be admired because it is so easy. Ang dali-dali magnakaw sa gobyerno. Why do I know that? Because I have a cousin who became under Gloria, Undersecretary of Energy, and he was the president of NAPCOR. So he's very proper because he was executive of Philips Petroleum. So ginagawa niya, tama-tama. And awarding of a license to a company. On the day that he was supposed to sign, sabi niya sa akin, on his desk, may cash, mayroong check, paid to cash, 500,000 pesos. What was that? Pipirmahan na lang niya para hindi siya magbago ng isip. Okay? So, why? Because other secretaries, on the day itself, wala kang regalo, sa iba'y bibigay. That is how, you know. And then another one, just recently, I have a young friend who is assistant district director in the South. So he was sworn in November, bisita sa akin in February. Ay naku, Tita Loida. First day ko, tinawag ako ng director, and he told me this. Driver's license is 1,000, ang charge natin dito 3,000. Franchises, malaking pera yan, 30,000, but we charge 80,000. So, laki-laki nun. Saan mo doon pupunta? From the bottom, all the way to the up, all the way there, happy sila. Okay? Why? Why is that? Because that's the way it's done. Okay? So, sinasabi nyo, daan matuwid, it has not filtered down. Okay? Ang dami pa rin corruption, and that is one of them. So, sabi ng kaibigan, the young man said, ano lang ako, ang pipirmahan ko, yung mga nagbabakasyon, yung mga humingi ng advances because they're going to travel and attend a conference, yun na lang ho, yan sa inyo na. Okay? So you see, now it's still happening. But with Maro has 22 years, 23 na ngayon, of government service, you never heard a hint of corruption. Because integrity is DNA. Okay? Once you don't have integrity, nakawan. Because you are in power. Power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. And you can be sure Maro has will not do that. Next. Okay? And whom did he choose? Okay? Maro has. Alam niyo naman, for 5 months, Noy was asking Grace Poe to be vice president. And Grace Poe said no. Eventually, she said no. Maro has should be my vice president. Ako president. Wow, sabi ko, Diyos ko po. You know, sometimes pride causes you to not see clearly. She has no experience. She was in America as a kindergarten teacher for 15 years. She went back to the Philippines where Fernando Poe died. She took care of his films, okay, to collect them. And in 2010, President Noynoy appointed her chair of Movie and Television Review Board. Gaano kalaki ang kanyang empire? 14 board of directors. That's it. Okay? And then she's saying, I will fix the Philippines. So, just be careful. You can promise everything. But if you have no track record, how sure are we that you know how to execute? Yun lang ang masasabi ko dyan. Alright? So now, they did Lenny Robredo as vice president. Yes. Lenny. So many of you know her already. But for those who do not know her, she and Jessie Robredo are members of Couples for Christ. I'm not a member. But those members of Couples for Christ, wow, diretsong utak. Faithful to the wives and husband. Walang kaliwaan. Very, very, mga sa mga that's what they are. So that's one. So they're praying here. They are praying with the board again. Although she's Catholic, this is a pastor. Okay? I just wanted to show you that. And then what is she? Who is she? She is mother to wife to Jessie Robredo. Jessie Robredo is the one who started bottom-up budgeting. Ang tawag sa kanya, Chinelas Mayor. Because she said, my people are chinelas. They were chinelas din ako. And the best thing about Jessie Robredo, Naga was first-class municipality, 40 million of income. But because he started transparency, accountability, integrity, when you go to City Hall, nakasulat doon, license, 30 minutes. Marriage license, 1 hour. Mga ganon, nakasulat. Why? Para kung sino man ang pupunta sa munisipyo, sa City Hall ng Naga, hindi na mag-aantay sa, kasunduan na. Okay? Here, kung hindi binigay sa iyo, come to Nertola. So, ang naging income ng Naga within his 9 years as mayor, naging 200 million pesos. Akit sa first-class municipality. That's the husband. And, syempre, you are the wife, you know all of this. And one thing with Lenny, 3 children, 3 girls, mother first. So, when she did not go to law, when her father wanted her to go to law school, 7 years niya pinag-aralan to be a lawyer. Night school. because she was mother to 3 girls, campaign manager ni Jessie, treasurer. And when she was going to take the bar, nagre-review sa Manila, nagka-dengue yung anak, balik siya sa Naga. So, she flunked the first bar examination. Sabi niya, tapos na? No. She took the second one, nakapasa. And did you think that she would go to Procter & Gamble? 1 million pesos ang mga sweldo ng mga lawyer. O kaya sa Accra, biggest law firm, 1 million pesos a month. O kaya sa San Miguel, laki-laki ng sweldo dyan. No, she went to public defender. 20,000 pesos a month. Because her heart is to serve. And kinikwento niya sa amin, one time, then she also went to, tingnan yung susunod, okay? Sa legal, helping the poor. So, 3 lawyers sila, they had to go to an island. And pagpunta nila sa island, gabi na. So, walang hotel doon. Ako talagang pobre-pobre. They cannot even go to a house because maliliit ang bahay. So, saan sila pinatulog? Sa kanilang bangka. Because it's clean, it's nice, doon sila natutulog. Alauna ng umaga, attorney, oh, what is it? Gising na po, gagamitin namin ng bangka para mag-isda. Alright? But that is the kind, and she was 6 months pregnant, but that is the kind of her public service. She went to the people, not the people going to her. Okay? Now, and she became a legislator. Kinalaban nila ang, when Jessie died, she was asked to run for Congress in Camarines Sur. Ang kalaban niya, Villafuerte, the mother of El Rey Villafuerte, who is the governor, the wife of Congressman Luis Villafuerte, but the people of the 3rd District knew how good they are. Desi and her, she won 78% of the vote without spending money. And these are the things she did in the 2 years she was a congresswoman. Next. Okay? Okay, that's too bad. Because this one is saying, she's explaining, what is her plan of leadership? Servant leadership. She goes to the people to find out what are they saying. Ganun ang ginagawa ni Jessie. So, with the people there and the government there, it's a good combination na ang mga ginagawa ng gobyerno gusto din ng mga tao. Okay? And this one, I love this. Saan siya pupunta? Bakit siya bumababa? Walang tao. She was going at the back door of the Congress where the President is going to give State of the Union address. Nasa ng lahat? Nasa harap. Naku, pagandahan ng baro. Kailangan maganda because tayo ng television, ABS-CBN, Channel 5, GMA7, baka kumakita sa television. So I must admit, I also did that. Kasi dress to kill din ako. But look at her. Sa likod, because I don't want to lose myself. She knows who she is. She doesn't need television. Okay? Sa likod. Ito naman, anong ginagawa niya? Nasa bangketa. Tapos na ang Congress. Friday night, 10 o'clock at night, she is taking the bus. Asa ng SUV niya? Wala. How about Volkswagen? Wala rin. She is taking the bus from Mandaluyong to Naga. 1,000 pesos, 8 hours. Pagdating niya sa Naga, 6 o'clock, tulog ng konti, 8 o'clock, eto na siya. Barangay to barangay. That is Tete Robredo. Next. Alright, Panata. I think it's not running. Panata Makabayan. Okay, I did not tell this because wala ka doon. Pero anyone over under 40 knows this. Panatang Makabayan, iniibig ko ang Pilipinas. Thank you. For those who know it, hindi ba napakaganda? Napakagandang Panata. And that is what you should expect from our government officials. And so, with Noynoy, he has started it from the top, but it has not yet sink at the bottom. And so, we need more than just 6 years. Kulang 6 years. Next. Okay, and this is my theory. In order for us to rise, 6 years is not enough. 21 years of martial law, we sunk the roots of corruption sunk deep into our national soul. And 18 years it will take to take it out and give us good governance as a matter of habit. Alright? So my theory is, Noynoy has 6 years school on yan. He should have second term. His second term is Marocas, 6 years. And after 6 years, third term, that is Leni Robredo. And if we do that, we are going to be a head nation and no longer the tail. Diyan ang kailangan natin. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So that all of you can understand that 6 years is not enough. Papalitan natin, but wala na namang mangyayari sa atin. As I said, the plane can fall down. When I was in Manila last February, I asked, sino bang bubutuhan mo? Taxi. Okay? Although, at that time, I had to take a taxi. Sino bubutuhan mo? Sagot niya, sino pa ho? Yung isa magnanakaw, yung isa mamatay tao, yung isa Amerikana, yung isa may cancer. Di si Mar. Sabi ko, galing itong taxi driver na ito. But honestly, that is what it will say. We need 18 years of tuwiran, good governance, and then we will truly be bayang magilid, perlas ng silangan. And I want to remember the words in the gospel, okay? I think it's Peter, letter of Peter. What he said is, we are a noble race. Tayo, mga Filipino, why noble race? Look at our heroes, Jose Rizal, Andres Bonifacio, Ninoy Aquino. They were willing to shed blood for the country. The country is worth dying for. But the country is worth fighting for. We have to fight for the right leader of the Philippines. That is noble race. We are a holy nation. Holy nation? Why? Because Magellan came and brought Christianity. We could have gone to China, Indonesia, Brunei, Malaysia. Sa Pilipinas napunta. So it's God's hand that we should be a holy nation. We are royal priesthood. Priesthood. Hindi naman ako pare. No, we are. Look at all of us here. People have very good regard for us. When I was in Paris, siguro nakita sa accent ko, nakita sa mukha ko, oh, you're Filipina? I have a household worker. She has been with us 14 years. She's very good. She's a member of the family. Or I go to any other foreign, Europe, even in the United States. Where do you come from? Philippines. Oh, I have a very good doctor who took care of my mother when she was sick. Or my nurse took care of my wife when she was giving birth. Mga ganon. We are a royal priesthood because we have a sense of service. Ang gusto ko na sabihin sa Israel, we have 300,000 Filipinos. 150,000 are legal, taking care of all people. But there's also 150,000 tago ng tago, illegal. Bakit ko lang nagre-report sa kanila? Because we're so good. We take care of their own as if they are Lola, our Lola, our Lola. So, they have stopped importing Russians? No. Mga Sri Lankans? No. They want Filipinos. We are a royal priesthood. And the last one is, we are God's own people. Whether we are Muslims or Christians, Catholic, we have a people of faith. We walk with God. And so, when we have, as a country, good governance for 18 years, then we will truly be first world, hindi na tayo third world. And then you and I will be able to tell when they say, who are you? You can always say, and I will say, with head held high, I am Filipino and I'm proud to be a Filipino.